Thank you to our sponsors for today's video, Ionna, InfyPower, and Eaton. Ionna, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, Ionna is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave. Also, InfyPower, the largest EV charger module provider with over 3 million power modules running reliably worldwide. Their latest G2 collection features ultra-high power density and efficiency for EV charging and energy storage integration. InfyPower, innovation for your power. And Eaton. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure, hardware, and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me and Coleton, not in an electric car. We're not talking about this car. We're in a Volvo V60 though. Pretty nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice rental car. Shout out Avis. We booked an electric car and they're like, oh, no, don't have any of those. So here's a Volvo wagon. I was like, sounds good to me. We are going to the Rivian factory today, Coleton.
Very excited for this.
So it's going to be a little bit of a vlog style video. I'm turning on to Rivian Motorway at the moment, and it's Coleton's first time at a factory. I think any car factory.
No?
Tesla. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
But at least at the Rivian factory. And so I wanted to get Coleton in to see how Rivians are made and also maybe film a video for you guys. So let's flip the camera around because we're rolling up and there's just a sea of vehicles parked here. Well guys, today's video is going to be a little bit of just a vlog. I don't know what to really expect from our visit here to the Rivian factory in Normal, Illinois. Coleton is here primarily to learn about end of line and quality checks and painting and a bunch of stuff. I know they're going to show us some things that we can't post. So they got some dunes out there still.
Tons of dunes.
And I'm looking for any sign of quad motor, and I'm not seeing any over here yet. But we're here right before the model year 2026 changeover, Coleton.
Mm-hmm.
So it's currently May, towards the end of May 2025 that we're here. I was just here a couple weeks ago to pick up our new Rivian R1S, and I love to do factory delivery on our vehicles. And it's Coleton's first time here. So I asked Rivian, hey, can we come? Can we see end of line? Which is right over there. That's how they charge them up in that building. Right over there. They've got a bunch of Rivian chargers. And essentially, they said, yeah. And I was like, well, we got to film. They're like, oh, I don't know. And then they agreed. But they said, we'll just let you film certain things. So whatever those certain things are, you guys will join us. But we are now rolling up to the Rivian production plant here in Normal. We flew in very early this morning, landed at like 1 a.m.-ish.
Yep.
And now we are, drove down from Chicago because there was a really annoying flight schedule to actually get to Normal.
Yeah, really annoying.
It didn't really work for us, so we decided to fly to Chicago and come down. I've learned we need an out-of-spec plane, Coleton.
Ooh, definitely. That'd be fun.
So the rumor is when the lights are on those Rivians up there, that means RJ's in town. And they're currently off.
Darn it.
So that's what I've heard. RJ is the CEO of Rivian, for those of you who don't know. And they've got rows of charging here in the parking lot for employees and guests, I assume. Even though we did book an electric car, we're not driving one, so no need. And yeah, this is the main entrance that we'll walk inside here in a minute. But Coleton, Rivian factory tour. Are you pumped?
Super excited for this.
Yeah, no idea what to expect, but I think we're here most of the morning, or all day, till like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay, should be cool. So we've got guest parking and vehicle charging. We will not clog a charging spot. Let's go find a place to park, walk inside, and see what the heck is going on inside the factory. Guest parking, that's us. We have arrived in the Volvo V60 Cross Country. Nice car. I'm a huge Volvo nerd. So yeah, it's been wonderful. You can see a bunch of Rivians over here charging. Equinox Model 3. That guy, plug-in hybrid Fusion. Cool. I was going to say he was icing it, but he's not. Shout out Topo Bags. Not sponsored yet. Let's head inside, Coleton.
Let's do it.
We are rolling up. We had a 10 o'clock appointment. We're here at 9:59 and 40 seconds. That is very unusual for us. Nice timing on all of that right there. So we are here. We just took delivery of our R1S right there. I took delivery of my R1T right over here. Super cool to come inside. But in those visits, I got a quick factory tour a couple times, but I heard we're going in depth today.
Hope so.
And I think quad motors in production. We're going to see some R2 stuff as well. So I'm very much looking forward to at least seeing everything. Hopefully we can show the viewers a lot. I have no idea. But just out of respect, I'm going to be careful about where we do film.
And where we don't.
Where we don't, yeah. Yep. So let's go check it out. Coleton, they hooked us up with a nice little conference room with an R2 over here.
Yep.
So what are we doing today? Do we have any idea? They said we could film quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Curious to see how this goes, what we can film, what we can't film. Sounds like we're starting on a catwalk tour, which will kind of be cool to see bird's eye view.
Yeah, and I think that's most people's like factory tour,
right,
which is the catwalk thing. Then they're going to bring us deep, and we're going to go and see stamping and a bunch of other stuff, which I've already been back there before, but it's been a long time.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be changed massively. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on around here, dude. It's pretty cool.
Sure is. Yeah, this is really neat.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing what we can get ourselves into.
Absolutely.
We've just taken a quick little jaunt in this R1T over here to the delivery center. Don't worry, we're not taking delivery of a new car. But Coleton, I wanted you to at least see where not only I've taken delivery of my truck, but also Scott took delivery of her R1S here. So yeah, maybe we can just walk around really quick and show the viewers a little bit of what the delivery center looks like.
Yeah, this is a really nice space here. How's this compared to other delivery centers you've been to?
Well, the BMW Welt delivery center in Munich is insane because they put the car on a turntable and you like walk down and it's just there with a spotlight on it. And then you get escorted out of the building by one of their cup cars, and it's pretty amazing.
I mean, this is nice though.
This is nice. Don't get me wrong.
And this is even nicer. This is a great spec right here.
Yeah, so tri-motor. This is the storm blue on slate gray interior. This is definitely the spec to go for. Super nice inside. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see they even do, sort of their certified pre-owned situation, or it's a trade-in, but it looks fresh. It looks like it's staged for delivery.
Yeah, it's definitely been cleaned for sure.
Yeah, so interesting to see a Gen 1 in here, quad motor, ready for delivery. You can also get merch while you're in here, and we've shown this room so many times in videos. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but just to give you an idea while we're here at the factory to show you outside is the test track. I have other videos of us ripping around the test track, going on this off-road course and sliding some Rivians around some of these corners over here. Not the most engaging or exciting test track facility, but it's a great way to get people in a car, launch it, and blow their minds. And Coleton, what's your impression of this? Is this where you would come to take delivery of your Rivian?
Absolutely. Although they charge you a destination fee, which is like, it comes out right there.
Yes, they charge like, I don't know, what, $1,200 or?
I thought it was $1,700.
It should say on, I don't know where the window sticker is. Check that one if you don't mind.
Let's go look over.
Yeah. Now they used to have like a rolling chassis from a Gen 1 over here, but that has since been removed, which I thought was a pretty cool educational tool. How much is it?
$1,800.
$1,800 to take delivery.
Drive it 2 feet.
But they charge the same for every Rivian. But they would get really complicated if you had to do it based off location. But still, I think they should waive the $1,800 destination fee, and then you can still pay $1,800 for a factory experience. They should also do like a BMW performance driving school thing.
That'd be amazing.
Do like a Rivian off-road course.
That'd be so cool. Yeah.
We'll host it for them.
I will be there every day.
Oh, if you give me free tires and a Rivian every day.
Ready to go.
I'll be out there ripping. But I do think Rivian needs an experience center.
Yeah. I mean, this is nice here, especially because a lot of folks who come here and pick up their trucks and cars are doing kind of the catwalk tour like we just did as well, which is neat to see, of course. But yeah, this is a really nice space to take delivery.
Yeah, absolutely love it. So anyway, let's get back in the factory. We're going to go nerd out with Carlo, who's like the head of production here or something. Don't know. Haven't met him before, but I met his previous counterpart who left. So now we get to meet Carlo and figure out what the heck is going on in there.
Sweet.
But highly recommend a Rivian factory delivery experience. You can do it wherever you live in the country, is my understanding. There might be some state laws like California may not allow it. There's like weird stuff with certain states, but sure. I think pick it up here, road trip it back like I've done now twice. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, you joined me at the factory with Carlo. How's it going, sir?
Very good. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you very much for giving us the tour. It's amazing to have you to show us around.
Yes. So thank you. And my name is Carlo Madrazo. I am in Rivian as a VP of Manufacturing and Logistics. And I'm in charge and responsible for all the operation activity in this factory.
So this is your baby now.
Yeah, it's my child. I said this is my second, the first family. How much time I spent in this amazing place. There are more than 5,000 people, amazing workforce, a lot of pride, a lot of really energy to really sign a new piece of the history of the automotive industry in the U.S. So there's a lot of great stuff, very good news, great things that are going on in this factory in this weeks.
Love to hear it. It's been a couple years since I've been here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been and peeked in, but to do a full tour, it's been about 2 years. And just things seem so much more grown up. It seems really nice. There's no van line going at the moment. What's up with the vans?
No, with the van, we are now made some product changes. We are adjusting the supply base. They're making retooling. It will be ready to rock and roll in 1 week. So you will see this line again at full speed to produce these commercial vans at top rate. Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. Well, we're good to rock and roll, and I'd love for you to show us around and see what we can show the viewers.
Excellent.
Yeah, we did a little catwalk tour earlier, so we got to go up and just see how the vibe of things were going.
Excellent. So we can go on the floor level. I mean, I always repeat, we need to go and see on the spot to have an understanding of what's happening in our factory. And I will start from the birth, where our vehicle, our babies, start to breathe and start to move the wheel for the first time in their life.
Yeah.
Which is at the end of the final line in the assembly.
So this is where they get driven their first ever few inches.
The first moment of the life of each vehicle, you have a lot of final checks. There's a lot of quality inspections that are performed in this part of the process in order to have the vehicle without any additional checks and repairs perfect to be delivered to the next stage. This is really the first moment when we have energy and motion.
What state of charge are they shipped with from here?
This is very, very, very slow state of charge. I mean, the big charging activity is done at the end of the entire project, just to make the internal.
So they just have a few percent in them there.
Very limited.
Nice, and that's better for battery health anyway, to be low.
The really charging process is done in our, as you know, in our environmental friendly charging station with solar panels, which is we are proud of that. I mean, the first charging at Rivian is done with a completely renewable energy.
It's really cool. You've got the wind turbine outside and plus solar, and everything's charged off that.
On both ways, or wind or solar, we are energized.
I love it.
In normal.
So cool. So Carlo, what I know we're walking backwards from birth back in life, but how long does it take for a Rivian from, let's say, body in white to be completed to this point here? So assuming you have the shell done, is that 2 days?
More or less, it's 16 hours. So it's less than 2 days, depending on, of course, how many shifts you work. But more or less, this is the lead time that we calculate from when body in white releases the shell and the final checks. That's, by the way, it's a quad. If you're interested, you see with our.
Yeah, we were checking that out earlier.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
and maybe it will be yours.
I think that's pretty much the spec I'm going to go for.
We have a couple of days. So this is an important indicator, because based on this, we synchronize the entire supply chain. So the logic is, in order to synchronize all the material flows coming from the suppliers, when we release the shell, the body to the paint, we send the signals to the supplier in order to put everything in sync, synchronization, in order to minimize the amount of extra inventory, burden we need to carry in the supply chain, and sync all the processes from suppliers to us. So we do this for seats, for tires, front and rear bumpers, and many other internal parts that requires this just-in-time or even more just-in-sequence.
And how about the new
logic.
supplier park that's coming up? That's going to be a game changer, you think?
Absolutely. I mean, with the supplier park, and this is a very, very glad and very, very, very blessed to have this very strong partnership, collaboration with the suppliers. Of course, for a supplier bringing their operation here when they have their own home, and I mean, it's always concerning because I would like to use my factory, but why do come to normal? Well, because there is an extraordinary advantage. First of all, we make the logistics more sustainable. We don't have to ship bulky parts in semi-trailers where we really bring air instead of plastic or metal. And the second point is that you're closer to the factory. So when you have parts with many variations in terms of color or, let me say, different combination of components, you can decide the last moment or your sequencing process how to customize that specific part to the factory. For instance, typically wheel and tires, it's one of the, you have many different rims, many different sizes. As soon as the sequence, the built-in sequence is defined and established, you sync the supplier from that. And the supplier just across the street, it's closer, it's easier.
Yep.
And the second point is human. I mean, you create these teams that are working closely together, much closer than when you have your supplier factory in Tennessee, in Kentucky, or in Mexico, or in worse, on the other side of the ocean. When you have a problem, you gather all the people together, you talk to each other, and you can fix the problem.
Yeah, you can go get a coffee, fix it, and you're done.
Yeah. It's much easier, much better. So great, even there's more closer networking with the supplier, with the partners, it is great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So everything that's happening here, what are the last final steps? You have to load software on the vehicle. What happens here?
Here in this area, the software is for most part of it is already loaded. Here you see in this part of the line, it's mainly aesthetic. It's external, so it's a panel, external panel fit alignment, fit and finish. Some polishing on the paint, and then the assembly of some few details, plastic claddings to the exterior of the vehicle. But mainly is aesthetic. And our ambition, of course, is getting less work to do, to tune up in order to get the vehicle ready. I mean, few steps backwards, which is a symptom of good quality because you don't need a lot of efforts to adjust and non-fit and finish. But this is the main purpose. And now we're working to give even more space, to have more eyes, more time to really fit and finish the vehicle. Now we're moving a lot of, let me say, assembly tasks somewhere else to give to the quality, let me say, feeders and the quality checks more space and more time.
Good to hear. That'll make this guy happy. Yeah, love it. Awesome.
One is that. The other is getting the vehicle okay since inception.
Cool. Well, let's keep on moving. This is amazing.
Well, yeah.
So, Carlo, on this side, basically they run up the line and then come back down the other side?
Yes. So at my back, you can see the trimming area. You see the vehicle is still far from being completed. You see there is still no wheels, no doors. And this area is called trim tree. Okay, what happened in trim tree? In trim tree, we make the final assembly of essentially exterior parts, which is drop gate or some piece of cladding, doors, very important, and wheels at the end of this leg. After this assembly leg, we enter in the final line, which is the part of the assembly line that's in front of us. So the trim tree area is a very important area for us because it is our model area. Is very important of this, let me say, lean revolution that we are now driving in the factory. I mean, starting beginning of this year, we decided to change the approach on quality and productivity in order to really enhance what we call the standardized, the way that we build the vehicle. Okay, the way that the sequence of the operations are designed, the way that we bring material to the workstation, the part presentation. If you notice, it's a little bit more evolved, even though there is still as a continuous improvement mindset, continuously improving, and the operators are working in a much more synchronized and even with better ergonomics. At the end of the day, we are making our team member life easier, and we are define the way to build a vehicle in easiest way. Going back to the lean methodologies principles, we started from Trim 3 with extraordinary improvements, with a focus, a team as a task force dedicated for a few weeks in order to really focusing on the improvements using these lean methodologies, our processes, extraordinary results. Now we are diffusing and spreading out this approach throughout the entire factory with remarkable improvements in, to say, quality, safety first, because of course ergonomics is going to be better, quality, of course, productivity. People are working better organized, and the result is going to be better. The second important point is the capability of the operator to understand the problems, call for help. We are really enhancing a lot at the end on. It's a typical methodology to raise the ask for support and problem solving at shop floor level. So this is revolutionizing the entire mindset and culture of the entire factory. This is great. And what these teams, what these people are doing in these months, it is really, I'm very proud of the engagement, the level of participation. Each team member wants to really do a better job. They are part of this discussion, finding solutions and making a better standardized work. This is great. This is normal Rivian. And this is really, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. We'd love to hear it. Super excited.
This is really, for me, I'm in the industry for 25 years. I've been in this improvement process for years. I can tell you, the level of engagement, will, energy, participation of our people is unique in the automobile industry. And this is normal, Rivian. And we are blessed to be part of this community of workers here.
Love to hear it. Congratulations. That's really great.
Yeah. I mean, this is, and this is the good news is that everything is translated to the product. Because if you have better workforce, better standardized work, better methodology, your product will be better. 100%.
Absolutely.
So only good news, only better news.
Love to hear
coming
it.
day by day.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, we can keep walking because the factory is big.
Yeah, you've got a lot of room to cover here.
Yeah.
So how many people work here, Carlo?
5,000.
Yeah.
5,000. And yeah.
Yeah, so you can produce how many vehicles a day, do you think, if you really are cranking?
Yeah, for a cranky, say 300 per day.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
just a round number.
Yep, that's pretty cool. That's a lot.
Yeah. We can build comfortably 55,000 a year, no problem, even more. Depending on, I mean, what we need to build, we build. But that's the number. So you see, this is the first light before entering final two. You see the vehicle is already done. We're assembling the underbody shields, aero shield, all the stuff.
And there's a difference between the all-terrain package, right, and where you get like a carbon plate of some kind.
I don't know if it's carbon, but of course it's a protection, additional protection you go to off-road.
Yeah. Okay, and that's where this all happens over here.
No, the battery is already, the battery pack by itself is already receiving a more resistant lead. Okay?
So it's a different battery.
Comes from battery,
okay, enclosure, not the cells are different. But,
this is just for aerodynamics and to get the best, of course, energy.
Yeah.
Energy. Okay.
Amazing. Very cool.
Okay, let's go to. No, we can't.
Oh, we got the red light for the crossing. Yeah, cool. So what's happening here, Carlo?
It's crossing.
Yeah.
The baby, the almost born baby.
Yeah, soon to be born.
We need to be respectful because he has or she has the priority.
Yeah, the right of way. It's like a pedestrian. Always let the babies cross.
Yeah.
On the left side, it's almost like we're going back in time.
Correct. I want to show you, I mean, the genesis of the vehicle. We start since the first steps of the assembly.
Yeah.
And this is an automated area where we, with robots, several robots, we assemble the glasses, the roof glasses, front and rear when you have an R1S, and the lateral, the quarter glasses, or the back glasses when you have an R1T. This is all automated. It's a piece of art because the robot read the geometry of the body and make all the adjustments in order to get the glasses stick to the body without any water leakage, water intrusion. So it's a very sensitive process where we need automation to be repetitive.
So Carlo, is it normal to have cars crossing the factory like this, or would it make sense to just bring them up and over so you don't have to cross every time?
Could be, yeah, it's a solution. I mean, for a high-pace factory, yes. It's preferred to have elevator and more than some way we want to keep the part delivery on the same level. The problem is that when you have this kind of pace, it's more efficient,
Just to do it.
more financially reasonable to have this kind of stuff. Of course, when you have a high-pace factory, it's going to be R2.
Yeah.
We prefer to have this kind of solution, more expensive, but you don't have this
You don't have to stop the way. Yeah.
But it's okay. For now, it's okay.
Okay,
It's
makes sense.
it's the right usage of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to keep in mind, this is, and a lot of people watching this video will know it, this is Rivian's first product.
Yeah.
This is the high cost, nice, sort of aspirational vehicle. Doesn't have to be $1 million a day. And R2 though, that's where it gets real.
That's a different.
So is most of your time focused on R2 these
Yeah.
days?
Yeah, I mean, most of my time is learning and help people to learn from R1, making all the experiences, all the good things, the mistakes, and learn from mistakes and transfer all this knowledge on R2 to do the best product and the best process ever.
Love it.
It's, I mean, making mistakes, I mean, it's human. What is not acceptable is reperpetrating the same mistake. If you make something wrong with R1, must be corrected with R2.
Okay, very cool. Well, I can't wait to come back and visit the R2 line.
I'll be here.
Yeah, you're right. And maybe we'll visit you in Georgia as well
Absolutely.
sometime.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
So this is when, more things getting attached to the vehicle. Still pre-wheels. We've gone back in time on the left side.
Correct.
So they kind of zigzag up through the factory. And is that intentional? Is that normal? What's your impression?
Remember, this factory was purchased in 2017 from Mitsubishi. And I mean, the purpose of the factory was a little bit different, different product, different capacity. And as a matter of fact, this factory went through significant expansions. I mean, the optimal layout would be for R2 and probably even better for Georgia.
Yeah.
For sure. This is something that it's okay for now.
Yeah.
But of course, in R2, the concept is more straight line, as you said. You got it, the point, because straight line helps the logistics to fit material, and you minimize the investment on conveyance. Every time you need to elevate to make a curve is money.
Yeah, makes sense. So R2 you can build from the ground up to be your way.
Now it's straight. If you go to R2, you will see next year we'll be here.
Oh, let's go now. Let's go. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's all straight line.
Yeah.
With the logistics on the head or on the side of the building, fitting, very easy, very straight flows, very efficient, no curves, not back and forth. It's really nice.
Amazing.
Georgia, even better.
Okay, very cool. Can't wait.
We don't want to stay up at our continuous improvement.
Yeah, love it. Love to hear it. Yeah, I mean, you bring so much experience to Rivian, being, building cars for such a long time.
A passion. I love cars. I mean, it's a car enthusiast. Of course, I mean, I'm for Ferrari. I mean, it's. I'm sorry. I mean, it's somebody.
Nothing wrong with Ferrari.
Yeah, I think there are lots of fans in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But do you think there were anything when you got here and you got to the factory and you're like, why the heck is it being done this way? We can optimize this,
Yeah.
or was it things are about as good as they can get?
No.
Let's focus on R2.
No, putting all in perspective, I think this factory, when I came on board, was in a situation that was expected. I mean, a lot of ingenuity, a lot of energy, a lot of passion, maybe some lack of experience, for sure. But the good thing is the ability of the team to pick up with the new ideas, being innovative, challenging the status quo. That's amazing.
So
That's
here you
it.
have some sub-assemblies being
Yeah,
built,
yeah,
and thank you for the insight on that,
Yeah,
by the way,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't want to miss this as we
No,
were
absolutely.
going by.
Yeah, yeah.
Super cool to see, you know, the, I guess, entire assembly. These also have a bunch of supplier content, screens, stocks, other stuff.
Yeah.
Are these assembled off-site and then shipped here, or do they build up the entire dash here at the factory?
No, we build the entire dash here. You see the station, you can come here. So in those few stations we build, starting from the carrier. That's a beam. It's the beam. We put all these garnishments, the steering control module, the screens. Is done here. Imagine before the lean transformation, we used the entire line to assemble the IP. Now with all these improvements I was mentioning before in Train 3, we could compress and make the same work in 1/3 of the space.
Wow.
Which much better quality. And the main point, you see these boxes, these are, I mean, the way that we now kit and transfer the parts specific by IP, because every instrument panel has a different color, different version, premium, no premium, dual, tri, whatever. So we create a kit on the line side, and we deliver just the part that the operator needs to assemble the IP. Wow. And you see, I mean, we using this concept for R2 is going to be crucial, because instead of building an assembly line, it's 100 yard, will be 30 yard.
Wow, very cool. And what about the Gen 1 to Gen 2 Rivian? I mean, you reduced so much complexity. Did that help the factory line as well?
A lot, dramatically. I mean, it is collaboration within product and process. It's amazing. And of course, we started with Peregrine, was the first, let me say, game changer. But now R2, we designed, and now we are collaborating more and more with the product development team to make the final adjustments in terms of manufacturability. R3, even more.
Amazing.
It's all a learning process.
So cool. This is great to be able to come into this level of detail with you. So super exciting, because I've only ever ridden through here on golf carts. Never been able to walk it. This is really cool.
This is real automotive industry. This is real stuff.
I love it. This is great.
Okay, so this is the beginning of trim. You see, we start to build the vehicle there. We disassemble the doors. You see, the doors are not anymore on the body, because all the assembly process becomes easier, more. You remove any possibility to have scratches and other stuff. And now you see in front of us, this is a continuous improvement team. They're trying to change the way they deliver this part. This is the
bed cover,
the base of the trunk of the R1T to facilitate, just again what I said in Train 3. This is all the continuous improvement team, enhancing and improving the assembly process. And one important part is the way we supply. We call part presentation, the way that the operator can take the part on the line side. This is the team working together.
Yeah, very cool. Some R1T improvements to the bed, just working on little stuff.
Yeah.
How
But
often?
there are hundreds of these activities every day.
So, one thing that maybe you can shed some light on, when in the traditional automotive space, if you especially look at the Germans, things change on a model year basis. So you have model year, you have to wait for 25. At Rivian, my impression is things just get thrown in and fixed.
So Rivian is a different story in the automotive. Completely. I come from that world, a German world, let me say, traditional world where once a year we have this big event, big change. That's not the case of Rivian. Of course, I mean, what is the advantage to have a once-a-year event? Everything is stable for 1 year. You can design and plan for the change 1 year or months ahead of time. So in everything, of course, all the changes run smoothly. But the problem is you have your product, your process frozen for 1 year. And that's not possible in Rivian.
Right. Things are moving so fast.
Maybe sometimes we change too many times every week, probably. But that's, I mean, the beauty of this approach is being flexible, being quick, being fast, and going to the market with the best solutions, the best upgrade possible. It's a strength of this company. Of course, we need to find a way to be as efficient, effective as a German company, but at the same time with the agility of the Rivian spirit, of Rivian DNA.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I think there's got to be a happy medium in there somewhere where you can be
Right.
fast and agile, but not disrupt the process.
Continuously, every day.
Yeah.
We're on it.
So we're heading back to, I don't know, it feels a little bit quieter back
This
here.
is because this is EDV. This is a little bit EDV area.
Okay.
As I told you, it is. Now next week we're going to ramp up, restart again production at full rate.
Right.
After the suppliers retooling and adjustment with the new product enhancement introduced now with the new.
So you're saying we're going to get a 1,025 horsepower EDV going down here with quad motor? That'd be amazing.
Why not?
Yeah, there we go.
Are working.
We just need you to build us one.
Why not?
Just let one go through the line.
We'll try.
Would be amazing.
The body will torque a little bit.
Oh, it would split in half.
Yes.
It'd be amazing.
Everything is clean. Even you see the part compared to 2 years ago, much less material on the line side, no forklifts. Everything is now it's cleaner. You can see the line.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest change that I noticed. When I was here, it felt a little bit cluttered. There was a lot of people running around, and it just seems much more automation, much more stability. And I remember most of the times I've been here, you can't even squeeze another vehicle out the end of the factory. They would all clamp up.
It's factory.
And now they just run
now
through.
There is, no, it's
amazing. Yeah, it looked like a traffic jam every time I came. I'm like, I don't know.
This result of our focus on quality.
Yeah.
We more. I mean, compared to a few months ago, it was taking more than 800 hours, and now it takes less than 16 hours to deliver the vehicle from end of line to our commercial yard for the final shipment.
Amazing.
It's tens of times faster, quicker, more precise, and this thanks to the important quality improvement. Is good enough? No, absolutely, we're not happy, but quality is never okay. But the trend is positive, dramatically positive, I say, but not enough. Absolutely. It's we know that there is always a lot of work to do, a lot of improvements. Okay. So these are the frame for the EDV.
Yeah.
We make some product improvements. Yeah. But again, in 1 week, we're going to fire up the process again.
Okay, can't wait to drive the new one whenever that happens. That'll be pretty cool. I'm expecting one quad motor.
Okay, I'll tell you.
We'll secretly make it happen. We don't have to tell anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing that you have all these lights around here as well.
Yeah. So I explain here. So this is the very initial stage or phase of the assembly line for body. We call this trim 0, but it's less than 1, before 1, where you make the initial assembly on the interiors. We deploy the big harness. We start to assemble the first important ECU. It's called AMX, which is the brain of all the cameras that's installed on this. It's not a firewall. We don't have a firewall in EV, but in the wall of the separate the frunk from the body of the vehicle. And of course, in this area we have a first aesthetic check used to guarantee everything is under control, under a paint and metal standpoint. Okay, our process is disseminated, this part of our quality control strategy, of specific inspection points, quality gates, we call, that are really real firewall, where we have inspectors dedicated to check specific points of the vehicle in order to identify if there are, if any, defects, and feedback as soon as possible, as quick as possible, ideally in real time. Operators and team leader and the team that was creating that kind of defect. What is crucial is the immediate and real-time feedback in order to the team that generate the problem to react, understand, make a quick root cause analysis, understand the problem and fix it. That's the reason why you cannot have just a final checkpoint. Right, yeah. That would be crazy. What we do, we disseminate, and that's part of the quality engineering. It's really creating throughout the entire process, from stamping, even more from part reception, or even supplier processes, the right level of inspection, analysis, and detecting any anomaly, if any, in a preemptive stage of the life of the component.
Very cool. I have a question for you just about suppliers really quick. Obviously, you know, most automakers are final assemblers of a bunch of suppliers that come together. But in my impression, especially in early days of Rivian, the reliance on a singular supplier or, you know, limited supply base could bring the line to a stop. For example, there's just one tire supplier, you don't have multiple manufacturers, stuff like that. Do you think Rivian is growing in this area, getting more leverage with suppliers?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, again, Rivian is growing day by day. I mean, we're not a traditional OEM. As you said, we are a growing creature, and everything is under development for the better. So one important point is, you know, that's a great point, a great strategic point, Kyle, is how we are developing and expanding our supply base. Of course, at the beginning, it was complicated. Okay, I mean, a few years ago, I mean, it was a trial. Now we are real, and we are serious. We want to really be the best EV in the industry for sure, as soon as possible, in terms of quality, in terms of volume, in terms of product offer. I mean, and then there's incremental volume because we know, we are sure that we're going to offer a product that doesn't exist. So this is great. The supplier base.
Rolling through here. Nice.
Yeah.
Ripping. Oh, may not love us here.
No, he's not happy with me.
He's mad at us.
He's not happy with me. So now, just going back, expanding my thought. Of course, when you have limited volume, you have a very limited bargaining power, negotiating power with one supplier. With two suppliers of the same, even less. You have less to split. But tomorrow, even now that we are negotiating our two volumes, our position with our partners is a little bit different. I mean, we don't want to fight with the supplier. We want to really have the better, let me say, partnership. Of course, we have more to offer now.
Yeah.
And having more volume to offer, it's easier sometimes even to differentiate. There's the supply chain. When there are very critical components, of course, now we can have the luxury, the privilege to differentiate, have different sources. And the third important point, the third important strategic point is Volkswagen. Now with Volkswagen, we are dramatically expanding more the supplier base. So R3 will favorably take advantage of, millions of cars every year as a supply demand.
Yep, absolutely. That's going to be really huge.
In front of us, of course, the beginning was tough. We have to negotiate with big supplier, much bigger than us. But now the situation is our partnership with suppliers is becoming more even, more balanced.
Great, love to see it. That's amazing. Really growing up.
Yeah. So we can walk just the beginning of this tonight to see the difference between chassis and trim. Just take a look in 1 minute.
Would love to.
Yeah.
So now you're getting into the stuff that I'm comfortable with over here. This is my world.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So we've got drive units, assemblies, which is great to see. And on the other side, this is still,
body, the trim zero, the beginning of the body assembly.
Right. And so is the full chassis assembled, I guess, separately from the body, and then you just choose which one matches with which?
No. Okay. I mean, when you start the production of the drive unit, the propulsion system is different because of the motors. If you dual or tri or quad, then tomorrow, not today, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
The battery pack, you see, you have different ranges.
Yep.
And then there's, let me say, a combination of drive units, motors and battery pack as a marriage with what we call the skateboard, which sort of frame. That is the structure of the vehicle which carries the weight and which give us a structural robustness to go off-road, to really face the big acceleration with that. The trim, this is the body, is the shell, where it's a different function. We need to give the highest comfort possible, where there are all the let me say, the features to, let me say, having an entertaining environment for our customers. This is the power. This is the beauty.
I like it. Very cool. I really like this side better.
Yeah, okay, your muscle. Here we show the muscles.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah, cool. This is amazing. Thanks
Yeah.
for showing us this.
Okay, and at the end you see where you have the marriage of the propulsion system with this with the
Are we
frame.
able to show that?
We can go there, or we can go. You can see the final artifact, which is there, the body marriage.
Yeah, let's go see the.
Just for
Yeah, for time.
before time.
Let's run.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean,
Yeah,
you
great.
can go there. I can show you.
Okay, and here's a tri-motor about to get married from chassis to body. We've witnessed this in many factories, but I've never personally witnessed this in the Rivian factory, so it's our first marriage, Coleton. So we've got a tri-motor coming through. So here comes the chassis on the bottom, the vehicle up top. This is an R1S Tri, of course. And they're about to come together. Here it comes. So that's how one vehicle is built.
Yes. So we went backwards to the assembly process. I would take a look to the where we store energy.
Yeah, let's go.
That's a cool part of the story because that's a very business. It's a game changer.
Yeah, let's check it.
Let's go to the battery
Okay,
and let's see what happens there. Okay.
amazing. Would love to. And this is
Cool.
him screwing, about to screw everything together there, Coleton. Join the body and the chassis. Yep, but all the battery bolts. Sick. Headed to
This is
battery
going to be-
assembly.
Or R2. This area, this one, the construction is or R2. Or it's a piece of the R2 expansions.
Very cool.
It's one of them. We have 2 million square feet of additional real estate building. So here, it's a completely different environment.
Yeah.
That was more a little bit more traditional, more, let me say, the traditional industry where we have framing, chassis, trim, final. Here, where we build the batteries and the motors, the drive units, and of course, there's a lot of chemistry, a lot of very important details because this is where we build the new technology that are differentiator for our product compared to the rest of the industry. This area is still under construction. As I told you, this is going to host part of the R2 processes, specifically for.
So that's all
battery.
back in there will be
Yeah.
R2.
There and there will be for batteries, for the new
Yep.
batteries for R2. And there are other, you would see a lot of empty space because we freed up space for R2 as well, because there are other components of the battery, like the energy management system and the high voltage controller for the entire pack that's going to be assembled, built and assembled here.
Oh, wow. Very cool. That's awesome to hear.
So let's take a look on the. You see a lot of construction. The problem down there, but that's the only way to grow. I mean, you cannot be steady.
Yeah, we've got stacks of battery cells here. We're very familiar with those.
Yes.
We've used them a lot.
Yes, I know. That's the current technology for one. For two, it's a completely different architecture.
Yeah, can't wait to play around with that.
It's a completely different story. So this is, as you were mentioned, this is the elementary module of our pack. Okay. In a max pack, we have 18 of these, 9 times 2, for more than 7,700
Individual cells, yeah.
cells, to give the highest range in our current production. And these are assembled here. We receive the cell, and then we assemble the module. The module are assembled in the pack. I'll show you the assembly of the pack. But of course, if you want to see something, this is a very automated, fully automated process. A lot of precision, micro laser welding. It's a very sensitive process.
And you're just doing the high nickel packs here for R1.
Yeah. This is just for R1, correct?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've been over here.
Yeah.
Back when it was just Enduro was over that way.
Correct. Enduro is there. The Enduro line and the unit is there, but that 2 years ago was completely different. Now we are, you see, we're freeing up space. Here we're going to install a couple of important modules of the R2, and here we're going to put some other components of our business more to come. Okay, so this is the final stage of the battery pack assembly. This is the final quality control where we check there is no air leakage in the system, so the pack is perfectly sealed. We'll use, of course, traditionally injecting a non-reactive gas in the pack and measuring the pressure decay, the pressure drop, in order to identify if there is a leak or there is a micro hole in the back frame in the lid. Okay, this is the final.
Every pack individually tested this way?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so there are individual tests here for, let me say, the air sealing system. The lid is assembled in that robotized line.
Okay.
And more as important as the air leakage test is the electric test that is done before we assemble the final lid on the pack. If something goes wrong, we have still the opportunity to make a small
change to a weld or something.
Yeah.
If
we can
needed.
go there. I can
I
show
would
you.
love to see it. So do you know where they get their first charge? Or do the cells come with some charge? But they must do an inrush
minimal
charge.
yes. And there is, in this test, it's a full charge recharge process, because really tests, and we make a
lot of amps into it. Yeah, got to sort of break it in hard.
And it's very important. You see, it's an enclosed environment, because if something goes wrong, it's here that we detect the anomaly.
Right. So you put it, every battery goes into this sort of chamber.
Absolutely.
This is where they get their first charge.
Yeah. First hard charge.
And you really jam the current.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is how everyone does it, but I think a lot of our viewers have never seen this.
Yeah.
So Carlo, if they have a lid, they've passed, they're good. That's the way to know.
This is after the air leak test. You see, the lid, this is the lid that is assembly after the electric test. If it is good and at least point, we assemble the lid, we go to the pneumatic test, and then if everything is good, they go to...
Goes in the car.
Of course, then there is an additional testing after final. It's a dynamic testing where the battery underneath the floor of the vehicle really goes to real life. So there is still another functional test, which is the battery in the vehicle architecture, of course. Okay, so here we have manual assemblies where the battery pack has already the module installed. We have some manual assembly where we put some structural
adhesive in there?
Adhesive and structural element of the battery pack. You see? And before, of course, going backwards, here the robotized aisle that put the modules, 9 and a max pack, and now they're all max pack, full range. You see, if you can count now 9 blue. Blue is the color of the podding.
What does the blue mean again?
It's a podding. It's a fluid. I cannot disclose.
Okay, which type? But yeah.
So it's a fluid that is spread during the module production, and this fluid has an important mechanical objective to keep all the cells together, giving structural resistance and even fire suppression in case when something bad happens, alleviate the consequences of any shortage or some propagation of flames. Okay,
yeah,
so it's very important. So you see everything, because the module, you can imagine, is very heavy. So the robots will they put that's manual, but this is something.
Yeah, but yeah, this is
process.
Yeah.
This is the process.
Yeah, can we go check this out really quick? So has MaxPack always had 9 modules?
Yeah, 9.
Yep. But early on, there was an idea to put some more modules in, but then they changed the chemistry to get more density.
Now it's 9, the large is 7.
Yep.
so two less. And then we have the other chemistry,
LFP
the standard
chemistry.
LFP comes
Yep.
from somebody else.
Yep. And those get shipped in as a full assembly.
Yeah, that's a full pack.
Yep,
We
I've
do
seen
nothing.
the storage racks of those last time I was here. Yeah, how sick is this? Where they drop in the modules. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Drop one in my suitcase.
Yes, it's gonna rip it off.
Yeah. Dang, it's ripping. So this is how they build a Rivian Max Pack right here. I guess most of these are Max Packs from what I can see.
Now, yes.
Yeah. So it's lifting the module out. Just got batteries all around here. This is amazing. Just battery, battery, battery.
I'll have it.
Yeah. This is what I want my living room to look like this.
Dear battery, how are you today? How are you doing? It's bad weather, so there. Stay at home.
Yeah.
See, at the end of this is module
Module line, and then this
line.
is where they.
This is the final stage, and then where the module are picked by the robot, they put in the containers, and then brought to the assembly line for pack. Yeah.
Very cool. So this entire line is starting from singular cell to finished module.
Yeah.
And every module is identical for R1 and MC packs at least.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just 7 or 9.
Correct. It's the number of modules. Yes.
Very cool.
Yep. Okay. Let's go back to the traditional industry.
Yeah, let's do it. This is pretty amazing. It's also really cool to see you guys building not only the battery enclosures, but also the modules here right alongside the factory.
Now you don't have time, otherwise the drive unit as well. The drive unit is a piece of art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I've done a video on the drive unit line before. I'll leave it linked.
I mean, all the architecture of all the wires and the
windings of everything is amazing.
That's us. That's our.
Yeah, and I will leave the drive unit video, like I mentioned, linked in the description so everyone can watch that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I told you construction, of course, we are preparing everything for R2. Nothing, I mean, just a part of our growing experience.
But in just a few months, this is going to be ripping over here.
Absolutely, yeah. We must be ready by Q4. In the next 3 months, it's going to change everything here.
Amazing. All right, back to normalcy over here. So, Carlo, you took us over to what you call the geometry center. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So what do you have here?
Yeah, this is where we have the majority, not everything, but the majority of our measurement capabilities in the factory, where we check the status of important parts like the closures, so doors, hood, and the body as a structure, and the single component. When we receive components from our suppliers, we check that they are in spec. Of course, it's a continuous improvement, continuous checking, because we measure that the processes are under control and everything is maintained in the tolerances. And this is our main activity, to bring as a final result the smoothness and the reduced closing effort, or with noise, or alignment of all the panels. Everything starts from here.
Very cool, very cool. And all of the writing on each one of these R1s, what does that indicate?
Yeah, because this vehicle, this body are checked. They report the initial of the inspector and the date and the shift, just to have some traceability of the inspection and the measurement executed by Atos. Is the brand of the measurement machines we have. The robots, they through laser pointers, they measure the position of each point of the body in the space.
So now we're getting over to some big boy equipment. You can't move this even if you wanted to.
No.
Yeah, this is juicy.
This is where we build, this is the final stage where we put together the beams of the skateboards, or let me say the frame of the R1S, R1T.
Yep.
We build the beams with the cross members. They create the structure and the frame for the vehicle, and give us all the off-road, all the handling and dynamic features of the vehicle. and by the way, are amazing.
They are amazing. I can attest to that. They're great.
Okay, so here we are entering in the stamping facility. Stamping facility, long heritage from this and this factory. We have 6 press line, but
Yep, that's awesome.
yeah, but more important, we have all this piece of the facility which is very important called die maintenance, where we operate all the improvements on the geometry, changing profile and the geometry of the dies to improve the formability and the final result in terms of quality or panels. So everything starts from here. The point is that the challenging is that you need a lot of skill set, a very, very good level of experience, skilled people. This is deep knowledge. And you need time because you need to go through continuous adjustment, continuous trials. You press, you make the batch, and then you see the final result, end of line. So it takes a lot of hard work to get to the final result. But we're getting there. I mean, every day this team is amazing. They're doing, I mean, the amount of improvement in the last months have been impressive.
Yeah, and I think
everything starts from here. Everything starts from here, not from how we shape every single panel, from the door, the lateral panel, the body side, the hood. I mean, it's a combination of everything. And there, every fraction of millimeter or inch matters for the final adjustment of all the front panels.
Because it just makes everything worse as you get down the line.
Correct. I mean, the difference in terms of the strategy is not making the final adjustment of the vehicle, pushing and pulling, but just starting every single part must be following its own standard, its own range, its own geometry. It's like a Lego. You cannot make the final. Every single piece, every single tile of the Lego must be in spec. So the final result will be perfect, no extra effort, no extra adjustment, no push and pull. You get it done.
And then you just.
I mean, it's a hard work.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, can we walk
Let's
back?
go.
this
Yeah,
way?
yeah. Yeah, because
we should wrap up. Yeah,
let's
we have
go.
Only 5 minutes left.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just trying to walk back,
Yeah.
going to see the stamping line, and we can go back to the office area.
Okay. And then they just get racked up over here.
Yeah, and this is the stock, limited, not too much. Consider we have hundreds of parts. We need to really produce small batches, and we go straight to body white. Because
Nice.
body white is just after that aisle.
Wow.
Super connected.
So you don't keep much time here.
No, just this.
Yeah.
In about few shifts.
Yeah. Okay.
Hour.
Wow. Nothing.
Of course, this press line, they must work, they must run, they cannot stop.
And if there is an issue, do you have service on site?
If you have an issue, you have to have a strong maintenance team
Yeah, of course.
reacting and fixing the issue. But I mean, our maintenance team is awesome. I mean, since I'm here, never had big issues. I think we're done with they're in a break now.
Yep.
Anyway, you see, we have 6 press lines. This is the most important one. This is where we made the biggest part. Like you see, this is you see the final product is the entire body side. And of course, the bigger the part, the more pressure, the more force you need to press. We're talking about, this is I think 3,500 tons. Of course, this is the pressure, the way to create the stamping force. The bigger the part, the more pressure, the more weight you have to exercise to make the person to cut and shape the final part. You see, and this is super important because based on this you have the aesthetics or the small imperfection you can see when you paint. You will see that, and then the geometry, everything must be in spec. So it's a hard work.
So now we're heading over towards end of line. This is where they do the final checks. Actually, every Rivian goes through the water test right here. This is where they come out and for their leak testing. And then Coleton, this is kind of what I wanted you to see down this way. The final checks before they get rolled out to get charged. And
first of all, I want to show you compared to the years ago, there are much less vehicles.
yeah, you used, this is what I was saying. You couldn't squeeze another vehicle in here before.
This is pretty empty.
Yep.
The vehicles now are going across this process, which is mainly focus on dynamic test. You know the story, no? The why and the dynamic test, the water test. And I mean, the amount of repair over here is very limited. We are improving day by day. We have as a commitment, as a leadership team, we need to kill this repair area to zero as soon as possible, just keeping the dynamic test, of course, the final quality check. This will never go away. I mean, this is where we make the final adjustments for the. Do you want to?
Yeah, we'd love to. We'll go quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything on the left is getting just little checks and stuff done, right?
This is the small checks. You see, maybe there is a tweak or there is a little damage on that sometimes the customer doesn't perceive, but we want to really be perfect. And here you make the final small adjustments. But you see, the work of this is limited because what's coming from the main process is better. It's not good enough. We know that there's still, but I mean.
Yeah, you're honestly pretty great, especially recently.
Not compatible.
Yeah.
But we know that.
Dang, we're walking up here. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is the final step of this 2 long days of production, where the vehicle is checked and inspected for the final checks for the customer. We make all the final adjustment, alignment, and we are sure that nothing is out of spec, not under control, and the customer experience standpoint. I'm pretty proud of this assembly line that's moving. You see on continuously motion, giving our skilled team members the opportunity to go over all the standardized checklists. Everyone has a specific list of inspection points. Everything is standardized. They follow a specific inspection procedure. And if something comes on the attention, the vehicle is parked over there, make the final adjustment, and then it's shipped. In very, very few cases, we don't have the minority of the vehicles going through this line, going into this additional adjustments. For the rest, you see, you have, of course, this light tunnel to make the final aesthetic, and that's it.
Well, thank you very much for the tour, Carlo. I really appreciate it.
My
and that's
pleasure.
Literally
My pleasure.
how a Rivian is made. How sick is that? So super cool. Love it. They're even getting the underbody checks over here. Love it. So thanks again, seriously, for taking the time. Thanks for showing us all this. And yeah, we'll be back with more. But for now, Carlo, we'll have to be back with you for R2 at some point.
As soon as possible.
Yeah, can't wait.
Looking forward to having you here again.
So this is the area where they pull a few cars off every day and do like a Coleton level build quality assessment in here. They look at everything, test every function of the vehicle. And this is essentially like when you watch our out of spec detailing build quality stuff, they're all viewers here. This is where they, make sure everything is dialed. And then they just try to get a better and better score out of this process to improve the production. Love to see it. Well, Coleton, the torrential downpour has stopped and we have just finished up our tour, going super in depth with Carlo. That dude rocks, doesn't he?
Carlo was awesome. It's just great, dude. I have a way bigger appreciation for what goes on building cars, for sure.
Yeah, those dies where they're going, millimeter, even micrometers.
And you also realize like how hard it would be to make like a big change on something. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into doing that. That's already, set up, huge machines, stuff like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so not an excuse for lack of build quality, but
but just an appreciation for like what they go through. I don't empathize more, but I understand more now.
Very cool. Well, we'll finish up everything back at the office because it's getting windy out here. Well, you guys joined me after our factory tour, actually a couple weeks later, no, maybe about a week later, on a road trip. You'll see this in an upcoming video. But I want to end off our factory tour, with a huge thank you to Rivian, letting us go in there and actually film and understand and figure out how these cars are made and just cars in general. That was a real goal of mine. I've been lucky enough to go to a lot of factories. Coleton has been to a few, but really he does a lot of work with Rivians. I just thought it was so cool that we got the opportunity to bring Coleton into the Rivian plant where this R1T was produced and was able to see exactly how everything works in there. Secondly, I just have to say, I love the commitment to improved quality. I think Rivian is such a cool brand, building great software and user experiences with incredible design and driving performance. But like you and I have experienced with our R1S and even some other vehicles that they make, the building of the perfect machine over and over needed some dialing in. And it seems like they're really pushing for improved quality across the lineup, which is something I really appreciate as someone who does look at the finer details into cars, and especially Coleton. I know he was thrilled to see their improvements, or at least talk about their improvements. We'll see how well that translates as we look at cars in our build quality series on the Out of Spec Detailing channel in years to come. And with all of that said, I'm just excited for R2. That is the big next step for Rivian. Actually got to see RJ the other day and see some R2 stuff. I can't post any of it yet, or maybe ever, but I think it's going to be pretty freaking sick. I think you guys are going to love it. So that's all I can say for now. Thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. We're going into more factories. I've asked Lucid, I've asked Ford. Let me know what other factories you want us to go inside. I will certainly try to get us in and get videos for you guys as well. It's super fun for me. I'm not a factory expert whatsoever. I'm much more focused on the driving reviews and car reviews and stuff like that, but it is fascinating. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know you will anyway, and we'll see you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.